The Federal Reserve, certainly will raise interest rates the next year. One has to think, but they better do it sooner rather than later. The dollar is starting to sell off a little bit. It is low. Has dropped yesterday. It was a pretty significant drop yesterday. It's going to continue to drop if we don't do anything about it. That's going to add to the surge in inflation as the dollar continues to lose value. That is going to be a huge problem. And, we've got to do something about it. And I just don't, I'm sorry, I don't understand the notion of the Federal Reserve not raising rates. I understand the politics of it all. I get that 100%. And I understand that this is now a political position as Federal Reserve Chair. I understand that as well. But look, at some point in time, somebody, somewhere, somehow has to be thinking about the American people and America. And we have got to raise interest rates. Look, we don't have anything. I know that the Federal Reserve has always managed to con the vast majority of international governments as well as the people here in America, that somehow they've got tools in the toolbox and that they can handle any crisis that comes along. They have been wrong every step of the way. They will continue to be wrong now. They cannot do anything about inflation. It's a runaway horse. They let it out of the barn in February, and now they just want to try to control it. They don't even know where it is. It is a very, very difficult situation. The dollar is now devaluing. That is not good. There's a little bit of a carry trade that has already started that is going to be going on with the yen and the dollar. That is not good. That's going to drive things even lower. I won't go into all the detail of exactly what that is, but it's not a good situation for the U.S. dollar. Nobody seems to care. Nobody is worried about that. But look, the only thing we have is strength of the dollar. It's what has kept the wolves away from the doors of America for a long time. And we've got to do something about it. And the only thing we can do about it is to strengthen the U.S. dollar. You do that by raising interest rates. Yeah, but that's going to add to inflation. Maybe. And as we strengthen the economy and keep at bay organic inflation that is happening anyway, how about the inflation that we have right now? Let me ask you all a question. Has the Federal Reserve raised rates? Oh, yeah, they raised rates when? 2007? Oh. Look, they haven't raised rates. We got 5.5% inflation. How's that possible? They haven't raised rates. I've been saying for years, rates will go up organically. We don't need the Fed to raise rates. We will have inflation, and we do. Well, it's all because of the pandemic. No, it's not. Well, it's the supply chain issues. Certainly that is adding to it. No doubt about it. I guess the question is, does it matter exactly where it's coming from right now? Doesn't matter. So because of where it's coming from, we shouldn't do anything about it to try to keep it at bay? Is that what the Federal Reserve thinks? Maybe. Maybe they do. I'll tell you what Janet Yellen thinks. Don't raise rates. I'll tell you what Janet Yellen knows. You got to continue to buy bonds. Okay, buy the stinking bonds. But in the meantime, raise rates. Don't do it the other way around. Don't cut your easing. Don't cut your purchasing and not raise rates. I would much rather see you raise rates and stop all the cutting. Nobody knows or cares. It's doing nothing for the markets. It's totally irrelevant. You're doing that for Janet Yellen. You're not doing it for the markets. You're not doing it for the economy. That's being done because we're printing money at the fastest pace that we've ever printed money before. And what is it we need? We're printing money on and on it goes. And every time we print more money, somebody's got to buy it. So the only thing we need is a buyer. And the Federal Reserve is not the buyer of choice. They're the buyer of necessity. And they will continue to make journal entries for the Federal Reserve to buy our money. It is never going to stop. So in the meantime, can you raise the value of the dollars that you're buying? That will be good for you. It'll be good for America. It'll be good for commodity prices across the board. We need to try to maintain some strength in the U.S. dollar. It is critically important. And the only thing that I can gather from this nothing but lame reasons why they're not doing it is because there is something great in the minds of the left that is going to come out of all of this inflation and crises that are being self-inflicted upon the American people from failed government policy, failed fiscal policy from the government. It is not going to be because of China. It's not going to be because of past presidents. It's not going to be for any other reason but a willingness to create crises, to collapse the government. There is a rush to dependency. There is a dramatic rush to dependency. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.